Morning, guys. We're going to talk about synthetic division. And some of these things are just rules that we need to remember about synthetic division. Hopefully you have done this before, probably in Algebra 2. So let's review it. First thing you want to do is make sure your polynomials' exponents are in order from largest to smallest. So we just want to make sure all our variables' exponents are running in order from the largest down to the smallest number, and get them all lined up first. Then we want to look at our divisor. That would be what I am dividing by. So usually it's the second number, or what comes after the divided by sign, the division sign. And that's called my divisor. It can only be of the form x plus b or x minus b. So notice how this does not have an exponent. Okay, so it's to the power of 1. So there's no visible exponent. And my leading coefficient, the coefficient of that variable, is 1. Okay, nothing else is there. That's the only way I can do synthetic division, is if it's set up in that manner. All right, and then when I'm setting up the problem, any exponents that we're missing must be represented by a 0. So if I skip somebody, if it's not in the lineup, I have to hold its place by using a 0. So let's look at some problems. All right, so first of all, I want to look at this problem. And as I go through all my exponents, because this is what my polynomial is, this over here is my divisor. So let me just label that real quick for you. This is my divisor. Okay, so looking at my polynomial, I have all my variables, and then I want to look at their exponents. It goes 4, 3, 2, 1, none. So they are in order. Nobody is skipped. So what I do to set up the synthetic division is I go to my divisor over here, and I look at this number here, and notice how it says plus 5. I'm going to take the opposite. So I'm going to write minus 5. And this is the part that people do differently. Whichever way you want to do it is fine. I tend to write mine this way. Okay? Some people go that way, and it doesn't matter. We all do the same thing. So then the next thing I want to do, notice again, this is opposite of that. I'm going to write down my coefficients, only my coefficients. Okay, so this is 1, 5, 2, 6, and negative 17. So just want to make sure my line goes far enough. And then what happens is this first number I'm going to drop. Okay, so it just comes right down. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1, multiply it to negative 5, and write it underneath the next one. So 1 times negative 5 is negative 5, right? And then I'm going to add coming down. So 5 plus a negative 5 will give me 0. Okay? And then I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to take 0 times negative 5 and write it underneath the next number. So 0 times negative 5 is 0. And then I'm going to add coming down. It's a 2. Repeat the process. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Write it underneath that 6. Add coming down. That's going to give me negative 4. Okay. Then I'm going to multiply again. Negative 4 times a negative 5 is a positive 20. Add coming down, and that's going to give me a 3. Notice how I have no more numbers, so I'm done the process. What we're going to want to do next, I label my numbers that I get. I find it easier than trying to figure it out. So we start at the very far right, the last number I wrote down, and we're going to call that my remainder. Okay, then we have a constant. So that would be my remainder is what our remainder is. Our constant is the number without our variable. And then we go up in our variables. So x, then we would have an x squared, and then we'd have an x cubed. Now that everybody's labeled, I can write my quotient with my remainder. So we're going to use the numbers that I got as my coefficients. So I have 1x cubed plus 0x squared plus 2x minus 4. And now we have this remainder. And what we do is we go plus 3 over my divisor, x plus 5. Okay? Looking at my problem, I don't need to write this. I might write it in the first time just to make sure everybody's accounted for. But I don't need to write him, so I can clean up my answer. Say this is x cubed plus 2x minus 4 plus, and then my remainder. Okay, and that is my answer. How about you give this one a try? Okay, so again, let's label this as my divisor. Oops, that's a V. Going to take the opposite of that, so that's going to be my -3. Going to write my numbers. I have 1, 5, 6, -1, 4, and 29. And again, I looked over it real quick and noticed that it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, none. So nobody was skipped. Remember, I'm dropping that first number, 1. Now I'm going to start multiplying. -3 times 1 is -3. Add coming down, that's 2. -3 times 2 is a -6. Add coming down, that's 0. 0 times -3 is 0. Add coming down, that's -1. -1 times 3 is 3. Add coming down, that's 7. -1 times 3 is 3. Add coming down is 7. 7 times -3 is a -21. Add coming down is 8. Label all of your parts. This is my remainder, my constant, x squared, x cubed, and x to the 4th. Now write my answer. 1x to the 4th plus 2x cubed plus 0x squared minus 1x plus 7 plus 8 over x plus 3. And again, we're going to clean this up. So I just have x to the 4th plus 2x cubed minus x plus 7 plus 8 over x plus 3. And that is my quotient and my remainder. So I wanted to look at this one. And again, let's look at this and go through it. First thing I noticed right off the bat is it goes 4, 2. So there is no 3 there. All right, so this is one where I've skipped a number. So when I go to write this, now this time over here, it's a x minus 4. Opposite of that is going to be a plus 4. So we're going to do 4, and then we're going to draw our box. This is going to be 2, and that's right where the 3 would be. As a matter of fact, let me change that color so we see it and we remember it. That didn't have a 3, so I'm going to drop that in there. And then it goes -25, -30, and 5. Extend my line a little bit. Same thing's going to happen. I'm going to drop that first one. It's going to be 2. And now we're going to do the pattern all the way through the line. So 2 times 4 is 8. Add coming down, that's 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Add coming down, that's going to be 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 28. Add coming down, that's going to be a -2. Times 4 is a -8. Add coming down, that's going to be a -3. And at this point, the same process is going to happen. It's going to be my remainder, my constant, x squared, x cubed. And even though I skipped a exponent up here, I will not skip it down here. Okay, these always run in order, in the same order, right to left. So my answer is going to be 2x cubed plus 8x squared plus 7x minus 2 plus, and we can just write it as a -3 over x minus 4. That's fine. Nothing needs to be cleaned up. There's your answer. So let's look at this one more time. This one, 2 numbers are skipped. So notice how it goes from 4 to 2 and then 2 to none. So I'm missing the 3 and the 1. So now when I go to write this in, and again, this is a minus, so we're going to take the plus. This is 2. And when I go to write my box, it's going to be 3, 0, -8, 0, and 1. Okay, this time I skipped 2, so I'm going to hold my place with 2. And where they belong. Notice how I didn't write them next to each other. It's 4, 3, 2, 1, none. Okay, and then same rules apply. Drop the first. Okay, and then we start multiplying. 2 times 3 is 6. Add coming down is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. Add coming down is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Add coming down is 8. And 2 times 8 is 16. Add coming down is 17. Label it. Remainder, constant, x squared, x cubed. Write out my answer. So there's going to be 3x cubed plus 6x squared plus 4x plus 8. Then do my remainder, 17 over x minus 2. And that is my answer. If you guys have any questions, I'll be in school on Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays, Fridays. So if that's your cohort, ask in class. You can join our Google Meet for the class time and ask there. You can email me, or I do after school assistance on Mondays and Tuesday. So if you need help, make sure you contact me. Thanks, guys.